Okay, I want everyone to go to Google site from home. All right, you could use, I'm going to show you a couple different ways. So let's assume you're not going to have your Chromebook at home. So there's the website address that I gave you on the way in, www.clever.com/in/Lake Stevens. Okay, you can type that in and it'll bring you there. You'll have to log in. Okay, if you have problems with your login and you're at home, make sure that you email me. Okay, so I'll try to keep my emails open so you can check that. The other way you can do it, if you don't want to remember that, I'm hoping that you put that in your planner like I've asked, but if you don't want to remember that, the other way you can do it is if you go to the Caballero homepage, so everyone go to Cav. Type Caballero Mid-High or do a search for Lake Stevens and then select Caballero, but eventually you get to the Caballero homepage. My computer is very slow, this laptop, so sorry. But your Chromebooks, you guys are probably already there and just staring at the amazing Caballero homepage. All right. Once you get there, if you go to Teachers Pages, holy moly. And under Teacher Page, what's my name? McCoy. Okay. So go to Teacher Page, select McCoy, and then from there, what's it say? I'm actually relying on you because I can't look at it right now. Right. Mark McCoy, there we go. And then go to website. It's an amazing picture of me 5, 10, 8 years ago. Okay, go to website. And that is our class website. Okay, I know it's amazing. I spent a lot of time designing it. What class are we? Geometry. So if you select geometry, it'll show you our textbook, and it'll show you all of our chapters. If we want to access the Big Idea textbook website, how do we do that? Yeah, we click here. Where's here? It's here. And then you're there. It's amazing, right? I know, that's awesome. Okay, so a few different ways to actually access it. Now, just so you understand, this is where I will post our videos. Like what I'm saying right now, I'm recording what we're doing right now. So you could go home tonight and watch and relive this moment right here. It could be amazing. And then when you're at home watching, you'd be like, dude, I'm reliving it right now. It's awesome. Kind of weird. Okay, but if you select chapter 1, I put different resources. There's different websites that'll be helpful. There's Virtual Nerd. A bunch of virtual nerds teaching you math. There's some Prentice Hall stuff, and some quizzes that I've tried to link up. And then there's the Big Idea online textbook tutorials. So like in the textbook that we're going to be working in, tomorrow I'll kind of explain how we could utilize these a bit. All right, but just so you know, I will be posting this video that we're currently doing right here. That'll be the first thing. It'll say like in-class instruction. And it'll actually probably be up here because this has nothing to do with 1-1. Right? Okay. Any questions? Brendan?
So, if I'm talking right now, it's recording that?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Crazy, right? I know. Okay. So, we are going to go into Clever. All right? So, log in. You're here. You should come up to a page that looks something like this. And your first option here should say Dynamic eBook app. Is that correct? Or Student Dynamic eBook? I want you to click on that. All right. So this is how we use our online textbook. Now, does it give you all these books? No, it just gives you this book, right? Like I get to pick all these books. That's how cool I am. I get an option of all, but we just go there. You guys have geometry. So it should bring you, hopefully, hopefully to this. Hopefully faster than it's bringing me to this. Now, this is a book that you're supposed to be able to mark up in, and it'll save your progress. It's like having your own textbook online that you can make notes in, so you get to like write in the book without getting in trouble, as long as it's this book and not the actual book you carry to school. All right? So, what's that? If you would like a book, you'll be able to get one, yes. Like one that you can bring home and have to return later. You can't like keep it forever. So I know that's exciting. Okay? So, you could go through, and I just want you guys to explore right now. Figure out what all this stuff does. It seems like that's a good way to do it, and I'll highlight a few things here in a minute. But right now, go ahead and explore all that stuff, okay? You can do whatever you want. Why don't you try? Go ahead. Oh, hey, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to pick one thing off the side, off that bar on the side there, that you have found, like that you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, or I can do this, and then it would be nice if you come up and show the class what you can do. Yeah, Brendan, you want to come up? All right. Yeah, I don't have a mouse. You have to actually use your finger on here. Don't mess up my machine, man. This thing's a dinosaur. All right, Brendan's going to show us something. I don't know what.
It's a big moment.
Okay, that turns the page.
I know. I figured that out.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm gonna highlight her name. So what you do is you click the highlight thing. Just tells you what happens. So you gotta hold on. Looks like it's gonna highlight some other stuff too. And then if you go up to the right hand corner, hit the highlight, purple. Don't click this because then it underlines, and then you save, and then it's all purple.
That's pretty cool. All right. Very good. Anyone else? Thank you, Brendan. Go ahead, Carla. Might be easier with just a normal mouse rather than the pad on the computer.
So wait, this is a computer? Like
that's a computer.
this
yeah.
is like let's go, Carla.
A CPU.
This is really bad. So I'm gonna show y'all how to do some notes. You just highlight some stuff. And then you go to the notes. And then
Whoa.
goodness,
That's crazy. Her name sounds like Roswell.
could be.
Wonder, man, area 51. Well done, Carla. All right, so you can add some notes. Anyone else? Go for it. Drew? I'm impressed. You guys are teaching me up.
So I like it. I teach you how to make do a bookmark thing. It's really, really, really easy. You just click that. Oh, whoops.
When you click that, now you have bookmark.
There you go. Yeah, you have a bookmark.
So if I click the bookmark on the right, on the left, what
It
is
just
that?
tells you how to do it.
Oh,
It's like the help stuff. Description.
oh, it shows you the bookmark.
Yep, and it shows you how to.
Nice. All right, thank you, Drew.
Yeah.
Well done. Oh yeah, give me a hand. You can get Carlo and Brendan at the same time. There, that's like a three-way call. All right. Anyone else? Go for it, Alex. See, the more you guys volunteer, the quicker I learn your names, and then you get to sit wherever you want. I can't remember.
Okay.
See, I didn't go through this on Friday.
Like if
Oh, the
you
names? Yeah.
make a mistake in highlighting, there's a way you can exit it.
Like unhighlight?
Yeah, so you just click on it, and then you click cancel.
No, it's remove.
Oh.
But don't do that.
Are you gonna remove it?
Oh my gosh, you just deleted all.
Well, he removed the. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, I'll re-highlight it.
You might wanna. You just gotta highlight the Lori Boswell part, and it highlights the rest of it.
I'm not used to this fancy thing.
Yeah, the mouse up there is kind of weird.
It is. Okay, oh, there we go.
Hey, man. Talk trash about my CPU. All right. Nice.
There we
Thank
go.
you. Well done, give him a hand. Nice job. All right, anyone else?
show them the settings part.
This is your book. You can like do whatever you want. You guys are messing up my book right now.
You can go to contents and switch to whatever page you want faster than just clicking the arrow thing.
That's a good call. That could take a long time if you're in chapter 5, huh?
Oh, you can
Good. Well done. KJ.
Another way you can change your page is by clicking down here, maybe. Yeah. And
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
you can scroll through, but I don't know how to do it on this.
You could scroll through if you had a real mouse, unlike my mouse.
Yeah.
Yes. Good job. Thank you. I was not aware of that. So I'm actually learning some stuff here. Anyone else?
Brian.
Lex? No? Are you coloring on your... All right, go show us how to color, Lex. No?
You can color if you want, Lexus. Let's go. Lexus.
You like can color on the page?
No, how do you do that?
Yeah, but you could. But the coloring also could mean making notes on the side, or like in the column. Lexus, that'd be great to know.
Bill, how do you do that? Oh, keep your foot out of there. Oh, I figured it out. I figured it out.
Show you all how to color. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
You choose whatever color you want.
I
You choose purple. And then I just color.
oh, look at that. You can scribble all over. Well, thank you, Lexus.
Wait, I can erase it too. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Why
Oh,
would you erase it? It's like best thing ever.
thank you for saying that. All right. Anyone else? Good job, Lex.
Wait for you to take your toe out and just.
Now you can do what?
You have 2 pages. On what? He says he forgot. Wait. No. Is this Connor?
Carson, you're going to show us how to do that?
Wait, what is he showing us how to do that?
How to put 2 pages there.
For 2 pages, you go to settings and then select 2
Hey, show him
pages.
how to zoom in.
Oh, it looks like a book then.
Carson, show him how to zoom in.
That's pretty sweet.
Press the zoom in button to zoom in.
Like, go zoom in on that problem.
What problem?
The example 2.
These are all high-techy. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. Anyone else want to show anything? Carlo? Come on up. All right.
Okay. So, instead of KJ's way of going through pages, I realized, hey, you could go and type in a page.
Wow, that's pretty cool too. Nice job. All right. Well, let's go ahead and use some of this. We are actually going to be working on pages 1 and 2 today. So why don't you go to page 1. Thanks for showing that. That made fast. Yes? It what? It talks? Nice. All right. How are you making it do that?
You can do that with the spoken feedback. Control Z.
Control Z?
Yeah.
Mine's not talking. Oh, I don't have speakers on mine. That's probably why.
Take me to page 3.
I don't think it's spoken request.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not like Siri. All right, let's turn down the sound. Hey guys, you really need to invest in some earbuds to bring to class. Otherwise, you have to use some of my sweet headphones when you're doing it. Mine are pretty cool. So, if you have earbuds, bring those or keep them in your bag. Hey, we're going to start on page 1 today. We're actually going to work through page 1 and page 2. Okay, so I want to go back to one-page view. Glad you guys taught me all this stuff today. Notice page 1 says maintaining math proficiency. All right? And at the beginning of each chapter, there's some stuff on maintaining math proficiency. It shows you how to go through, or it talks about things that you should already know from previous year's math. Okay? This one's dealing with absolute value. So remind yourself real quick just by looking at the example on how to deal with absolute values. Okay? And then I want everyone to try problems number 1 and number 2 on your own. Okay? By the way, when you're doing them here, when you're doing these problems right here, for today's lesson, I'm going to let you, because we're learning the book, usually we do it on a separate sheet of paper, but for today's lesson, I'm going to let you write your answers in the book, just because we're learning how to use the program. So, okay? If you want to write your answers in the book, just for this page, when we get to the next page, we're going to switch it up. Okay? This is not in your student journal. That's what Lex just showed us.
Yeah, you draw, guys. Come on,
Remember to write your answers in the book. We're not going to do this every time, but for this lesson we are.
Dude, it's so cool because I put 4 in.
Okay, you got to click up here.
But yeah, you can't zoom in when that happens. You can't zoom in when you draw.
Can we just do notes?
Huh?
Just highlight the problem.
No. Carlo, that's not fun.
So the answer is, for number 1, is 4.
I put that.
All right, so we go ahead and do what's in. Oh, it won't let you zoom in when you're doing that. Can you use this zoom? No. Oh, that's search. This is big 4. So remember, you're going to do what's inside the absolute values first. So 8 minus 12 is negative 4. And what does absolute value mean again? Danica? It is the positive solution. It represents a certain thing, though. Alex? Distance from 0. And as Danica pointed out, it's always positive. So distance from 0. So when I say 8 minus 12, well, the distance from 0, that is well, the answer is negative 4. And then negative 4 is 4 units from 0. Okay? What's negative 6 minus 5? Negative 11. And how far away from 0 is negative 11? It's 11. So you can put your answer right there. All right. So on problems 1 through 9, I want you to go ahead and put your answers right there. Try to write them in. Just do that for 1 through 9. Okay? I'll be around to help you out or try to help with the tech here in a minute. Hey, all right, guys. Let's go ahead and look at these. I'm going to erase my answers. I know. Do you want to save drawings?
I got mine.
Okay, now I want to zoom in. Won't let you zoom in? Oh, and then you can zoom. Thank you.
Wait.
Oh, and then your answers are gone.
Yeah, I know. And then when you open it back up, it sends you back out.
All right. Well, see, that's at least we know that stuff. Let's go through these real quick. What's number 3? 4 plus negative 9 is? 13. No. 4 plus negative 9 is positive or negative 5?
I couldn't read it.
Negative 5. And the absolute value of negative 5 is? 5.
I couldn't read it.
13 plus negative 4 is? 9. Absolute value of 9 is? And 6 minus negative 2 is? 8. Absolute value of 8 is? Okay. I think we've got it, right? Hey, we're going to go through that here in a minute. We're going to also talk about finding the area of a triangle. So you guys will have some more practice on that up there in a minute. But area of a triangle, formula. What's the formula? Base times height times 1/2. Or base times height divided by 2, right? Okay. So on a separate sheet of paper now, so go ahead and find a piece of paper. So what you should be doing right now, get your spiral out, or for those of you that, I would suggest having notebook paper. Put your title, the title on your page. Whenever we're doing an assignment on regular paper, you should put your name, the date, the period, and then the assignment. Okay, it's up here just in case you forget. When you put your name, put your first and last, please. That way I know. The title of this assignment, what page number is this? Page 1, it's maintaining math proficiency, so page 1. All right? Just write page 1, maintaining math proficiency, or MP would be fine for math proficiency. All right, what I want you to do is I want you to complete problems 10 through 13. You work with your groupies if you want. It's fine. Okay, groupies would be the people around you. What are you doing? All right. Hey, where does our title go? Oh. Yeah, top left-hand corner. Top right-hand corner. Top right-hand corner of your paper. Okay? So make sure you're putting your title in the top right-hand corner. That's where I'm going to be looking for it. All right, so if we're doing problem number 10. Okay? Problem number 10, we have a triangle, and it would be helpful if I could do a split screen on this, which I don't think I can. All right. Let's see if I can do that. Kind of. Right. So number 10, if I'm dealing with the area equals 1/2 base times height. What's our base? 14. So we have 1/2 of 14. What's our height? Yeah, 22. Remember, height always intersects at a right angle. Okay? So 1/2 base times height. Now notice when you're going through this, it's hard to multiply 14 by 22 in your head, but you could do 1/2 of 14. What's half of 14? 7. Okay, so now you have 7 times 22. Makes the mental math a little easier. Okay? What's 7 20s? 140. And what's 7 2s? 14. So what's my answer? Almost. Think of 22 as 20 plus 2. 154. So if you think of it as 7 times 20 plus 2. That's the distributive property, right? So that's 140 and 14, so 154. And should use a pencil. You'll hear that a lot from me this year. And we'll call that square meters. Remember, it's an area. All right. Any questions? No? Do we have an answer for 11? Yeah? Anyone volunteer their answer for 11? All right, Jordan, what do you got? 84? Good. So you're dealing with 7 times 12, right? You take half of the base. That's 12. 7 times 12 is 84. Good square units. How many got 84 square units on 11? Nice work. How about 12? So we have an area on 12. Drew? 200? Yeah, so if I take half of one of these, so half of the 16 would make it easy. 8 times 25 is 200 square inches. Any questions on those? 13, describe the possible values for x and y when x minus y, the absolute value of x minus y, is greater than 0. What does it mean when absolute value of x minus y equals 0? And can x minus y ever be less than 0? Explain your answer. Let's talk about that with your groups real quick. Come up with a good answer there. Okay, describe the possible values for when the absolute value of x minus y is greater than 0. Anyone have that? Yes, Maddie. X would have to be greater than y. Thank you. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah?
Well, if x is -3 and y is 5, that doesn't work. Well, it does work, so x doesn't have to be greater because -3
Y.
is less than 5.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
-3 minus 5 would be -8, meaning the absolute value would be greater than 0.
Let's check it out. So if I have x minus y is greater than 0, so let's just try some values. If I make, what was the example you gave? -3 minus 5. So y is 5, x is -3. That gives me a grand total of -8. An absolute value of -8 is 8, and 8 is greater than 0. So that'd be good. So x could be less than y. Could x be greater than y and make it still work? Danica? X and y can't be equal. Okay, what happens if they are equal? Equals 0? Always?
Unless it's a addition.
Yeah, but since it's subtraction, yeah, if I put x minus y, so let's make them equal. We can try a bunch of values. Let's try 4. So I have 4 minus 4. That equals 0? Yeah, absolute value of 0 is 0. Okay? Can you ever get a negative? No, you can't. Okay, there's no possible way, right? Because an absolute value cannot be negative, which means the absolute value of x minus y, you guys have to tell me if I'm off the screen here, can never be less than 0, because that would mean that it's equal to a negative number. Okay? Absolute values cannot equal negative, so that's not possible. Okay, any questions there? All right, guys, we're not going to spend any more time on this. Now, part of what I had planned for today, everyone take a look at page 2 real quick. I don't think it's... Page 2 deals with using a ruler, okay, and converting units. We'll actually do that a little later in the year as well. But when we're dealing with the beginning of a chapter, we actually always have these mathematical practices and maintaining math proficiency, and we usually try to start with those. In your workbook, there's also a page. So if you take a look at your workbook, open it up to page 1. Go ahead and grab your student journal. I think it's page 1, like the actual page 1. Should look like this. Is that your page 1?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so this is your actual workbook page. Now, remember what I said last week about your student journals. You're welcome to keep them in your binder. You're welcome to transport them back and forth and leave everything in there until I actually tell you to tear it out and turn it in. There will be times when I ask you to do that. If you would like to, you could take out a chapter at a time and just keep it in your binder. For those of you not using a binder and you are going against what I'm saying, you're saying, I'm going to use my folders because I am a folder person. I am folder man. Hear me roar. Or I am folder woman. Hear me roar. That's who I am. If that's you, please keep in mind it's going to be very cumbersome at times because you will get a lot of papers for this class. You guys like staring into each other's eyes. Okay. Focus up here. All right. So make sure that you have a place you can keep this stuff. You notice these are already hole punched for you. All right. If you want to tear out a chapter at a time, do that today at some time. Just tear out chapter 1 and it's in your spiral or in your binder and you're ready to roll. All right. But this is your assignment today. Problems 1 through 12. If you finish this, then you can keep working on your test. How many of you have not finished your pre-test yet? Okay, if you have not finished your pre-course test, try to do it sometime this week. Maybe take a little time at home, log in, crank it out, finish it up, and submit it. Remember, you got to submit it. Okay? We might have a little time in class on Thursday or a little time in between lessons. If you'd like to check out a textbook from me, you're like, I'm not sure I can use the online stuff, I really would like to check out a textbook. Then I'll be doing that here in a minute. You could say, yeah, I want a textbook. And if you don't get one today, you're like, I might want one, I'm not sure. You can get one on another day if you want. Yes?
Can you return it in like the middle of the year if you decide not to want it anymore?
You could return it in the middle of the year if you decide you don't want it anymore. What I prefer not to have happen is every other day you're checking out a book or returning it. I don't want to have to deal with that. That's a lot of work because I have to go into the computer system and change it every time. So if you check one out today, then keep it for a while, and then if, like Danica said, if she said like, well, I'm not using it anymore, then later on you could bring it back. That'd be for sure good. Okay, don't lose track of it. These are expensive textbooks. So like if you're like, I don't think I'll use it, maybe wait until you think you're going to use it. Okay, or you decide the online stuff isn't going to work. But I have plenty to check out. So maybe your parents are someone who wants you to have one. They're like, I want a book, man. Back when I was a kid, I had a book, and you're going to have a book. Okay, that's fine as well. All right? I like having a book myself. All right, so go ahead and work on it. You guys can talk, visit, and make sure you're working. In my class, it's okay to have earbuds in while you're working as long as I don't hear it. And they come out when I start talking. If you can't figure out when I'm talking, then you can't wear earbuds. You're not old enough yet. Okay? All right. Let me know if you need help, please.